At least 30 people have been killed in US airstrikes on the Houthis in Yemen. President Trump said the action was in response to the group's attacks on American aircraft and ships in and around the Red Sea.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to Breakfast with Sarah Campbell and Ben Boulos.
Our headlines today. A child has suffered life-threatening injuries following a fire in Walsall, the West. Now, home is a little bit closer for two American astronauts who've been stranded on the International Space Station since June as the rocket with their replacement crew has successfully docked. The US Secretary of State Marco Rubio has spoken to Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov about the next stage of negotiations on ending the war in Ukraine. At least 33 people have died and dozens more injured in the US after a series of tornadoes hit several states in the southeast of the country. Around 200,000 homes were without power in Missouri, Illinois and Texas last night, with more extreme weather, including tornadoes, forecast today. Here's Laura Trant.
A 91-year-old man from Hornsey has been conned out of his life savings by rogue builders who knocked on his door offering to repair some loose roof tiles.
Yeah, Alan was left with a bill of £31,000 after the company replaced the whole roof without telling him the cost. Now, we're not naming the company or using Alan's surname for his safety. Here's Leanne Brown.
And we'll be speaking to an expert from the Chartered Trading Standards Institute. That's coming up at 8:20 this morning.
Yeah, but at the moment, let's take a look at today's papers.
Time now, 18 minutes past 6, and a teenager from Dorset who's grown up without her right leg has her sights set on the 2028 Paralympic Games.
Pants with you, then hurrah.
Right. I'm sure we'll find out when they return to Earth. Let's find out what's happening with the weather.
That was Anjana Gadgil talking about the googly-eyed stone curlew. I don't know why I find that quite a mouthful.
A most apt name after seeing those pictures.
Certainly is. We will be back with the headlines at 7. Now it's time for the travel show.
Of this morning's main stories, Sarah.
Thanks, Ben. At least 30 people have been killed in US airstrikes on the Houthis in Yemen. President Trump said the action was in response to the group's attacks on American aircraft and ships in and around the Red Sea. That was Merlin Thomas. Now, Israel says it is prepared to continue negotiations with Hamas on extending the ceasefire in Gaza.